Hello there, once again, it's Anton from Anton Bay. Thank you for stopping by the collection room. Today we're looking at some comics, and this is another set of Warp. And Warp is so odd. It certainly lives up to the name, Warp. It is warped. We got space, we got wizards, space wizards, all sorts of aliens. We've got sword and sorcery, weird technologies, everything you want in the comic book, all in one really odd title. That is Warp. And of course Warp was published by First Comics, and this has been a while. I think the last ones I was looking at was 83. So just a couple years after I was born, they were cranking out this oddity. It was based on a play or a musical number production. I think it was a musical theater production. So a very odd history to that, to be sure. But I also think it adds, it's probably where you get so many weird, like reoccurring characters. Your villains change, but like don't die, and I can't imagine what this looked like in any actual live setting. I'm always mystified by that, but it's just one of those comics that I found a couple issues of throughout time, and I just thought, that is so odd. Every time I look at it, it gets me of just how odd it is, and how like every page visually, there's something that's just wow, you know? And so for the wow factor alone, it's definitely one of those titles that I think people should look for. You should look for this book, and maybe see if you can't snag the whole series. I picked up this whole run. It was, I think, 1 through 19. And it's not, it wasn't very expensive. It was less than $1 an issue, if I remember right. Just a nice full set of oddity. That's a cool page. That's just neat. I like that. It's like they're coming out of a light bubble. You get the butterfly lady. I can't think of what else I would call her. She's just a butterfly-headed creature. Woman. From the weird art to the weird panel shapes, to the extremely bizarre costume designs for the characters and everything like that. It's like a drug fest from one end to the other. Every time. The choices of Mistress Sargon. It is over. An epilogue. So I saw somebody leave a comment on one of these Warp videos. I'm working my way through the whole series. It's not very long, but they're like, man, I read that when it, a few years back, and I didn't know what the heck happened in it then. I don't know what the heck happened in it now. So that's a pretty honest take, because I'm looking at it and I'm mystified by it. I haven't read it. I've just picked up a few issues and read them here and there, but I didn't have the whole series. So I was like, well, I'm not gonna like intently read a book if I don't have all of it. That's kind of a problem. I tend to do that. I can't read a series unless I have all of them. And then by then it's like, I've had these so long, why do I even read it? I do struggle to read some of my comics sometimes. But apparently Warp, even if you're fresh off the read, it is a mess to try and figure out just what in the world happens and what the deal is. And I don't like these creatures. Man, that is disgusting. Gross. Yeah, that is certainly a different flavored side story. And so I've kind of been curious, where you've got, if this is based on a live action play, how did they, so like a lot of these issues have a side story in the back, or a different set of characters, or a backstory going on, and I wonder if a lot of that wasn't added or was added later and wasn't originally involved with the the original production of it. I wouldn't guess so. I would guess that that would be something you would just have to like add in comic books later, maybe for some back filler or some backstory or some filler, is what I meant to say. You know, because I don't see that happening on a play. Everybody loves their weird junk ornaments that they put on all of their crotches. It's just a thing. You'll notice it throughout the book. Some people's are more ridiculous than others, but pretty much everybody's got one. So I don't know if that was from the play or just an afterthought that the artist was like, oh, you know what everybody really needs? They need like little helmets and stuff on their ween. Let's do that. So it's such a big cast of characters. Yeah, then you get these like little backstories. I'm like, this can't be anything that was covered in the production. It just has to be like an extra. And also, if this was a whole like play production, how in the world? Like, this is 19 issues. How in the world? You couldn't have done the whole thing on the stage. That would be insanely long. So maybe it was based on a play and then they expanded the universe. That's probably a logical assumption. That's a great outfit. Merry Christmas, Hanukkah. Cheapy Saturnalia. Huh. Or whatever. Yeah, imagine wearing these outfits on a normal planet Earth. Just don't see that happening. Wowza. I do think that's the first time in the series we've seen regular Earth crop its head up, so that's a thing. Couldn't have it. I was wondering where all the dragons were. Finally, we got a dragon. Vietnam, 1984. The Deadliest Mission. I don't know. Gotta ride the bird. I don't know. You can only say this book is weird so many times before it's just like, I don't know what to say about this book. It's just weird. It is so odd. Anyway, that is another 4 glorious issues of Warp. I don't even know what to say about it anymore because it's just, it's Warp. It is cool. It is by First Comics. It is one of those books that, like, look for it in the bargain bin, and when you see it, get it, because every page basically impresses me with what's on it. It's got so much weirdness to it and so much of the things that you really want out of a comic book. I'm also seeing like a lot of He-Man Masters of the Universe vibe to it, which I also agree with, but I don't know. Like 1983, was He-Man going in 83? Maybe. I can't remember. Anyway, this would have been about that same time. So anyway, that's pretty much all I have. That's my thoughts on these issues so far. Love the series. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. I will catch you guys later. Bye.